We all saw it posted yesterday all over our social media pages. Cassie filed a lawsuit in New York City against Diddy.
Yikes.
She's claiming she was stuck in a decade-long cycle of abuse.
The rumors are that Diddy was running some kind of Epstein-type deal where he was filming everybody, right?
That's the rumors, yeah. I don't know that there's any proof or anything other than that.
In the ever-twisting world of Hollywood scandals and celebrity intrigue, few stories are as explosive as the feud between Katt Williams and Sean Diddy Combs. This isn't just a beef over words or a petty disagreement. This is a battle that has simmered for years, erupting into one of the most jaw-dropping conflicts the industry has ever seen. It's a drama filled with dark allegations, shocking revelations, and a dangerous game of power that might have gone way deeper than anyone could have imagined. So, what's really going on behind the scenes? And why does Katt Williams seem to be the man holding all the receipts? Let's dive into the scandal that has everyone talking.
Now you got the Diddy situation where he jumps on a private jet, they say yesterday, and is on his way to the Cape Verde Islands.
Diddy, the iconic music mogul behind some of the biggest names in hip-hop, is no stranger to controversy. Over the years, he's managed to dodge whispers of corruption and betrayal, always landing on his feet, no matter how deep the rumors went. But things took a wild turn when Diddy found himself arrested, and the shocking charges against him sent ripples through the entire industry. This wasn't just another headline-grabbing story. This was something much bigger, something that seemed to confirm the long-standing whispers about Diddy's involvement in darker dealings.
That clearly there is a criminal investigation underway and that they believe that there would be evidence of crimes in one or both of these homes.
When news broke about Diddy's arrest, jaws dropped. The once untouchable mogul, known for his charismatic smile and larger-than-life personality, was now facing accusations that could end his reign over the music industry. It was a scandal that seemed to come out of nowhere, but to those who've been following the situation closely, this downfall wasn't surprising. Katt Williams, the sharp-tongued comedian with a reputation for exposing Hollywood's most shocking secrets, had been warning us about this for years. And now, with Diddy's arrest, everything Katt had been saying was starting to make sense.
All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way.
Katt Williams has always been the guy unafraid to speak the truth, even when that truth makes the powerful squirm. While many celebrities play it safe, afraid of burning bridges or risking their careers, Katt has never backed down from calling out those he believes are corrupting the industry, and at the top of his list has always been Diddy. For years, Katt has accused the music mogul of some seriously questionable behavior, painting a picture of a man who has used his power and influence to control those around him. But it wasn't until recently that Katt's words really began to resonate with the public.
And people get caught up in the illusion of Hollywood. People really get caught up in this.
Katt first started raising eyebrows back in the day when he openly talked about turning down invitations to Diddy's infamous parties. At first, people chalked it up to Katt being his usual outrageous self, always looking for a way to shock his audience. But as time went on, it became clear that there was more to his words than just a desire for laughs. Katt wasn't just talking about any party. He was warning people about what went on behind the velvet ropes, hinting at activities that would make even the most hardened Hollywood insider think twice.
Well, if he really was filming everybody, I mean, he had a lot of people at those parties, right?
According to Katt, these parties weren't just wild. They were the epicenter of something much more sinister. He even went as far as to claim that Diddy tried to lure him into these scenes, but Katt, true to his nature, refused to play along.
But when African Americans make it and they get to the top, they try to help other people, but they don't really take care.
In an interview with Shannon Sharpe on the Club Shay Shay podcast, Katt didn't hold back. He claimed that Diddy had been trying to recruit him into this secretive world for years, offering massive amounts of money in exchange for Katt's silence and participation. But Katt, who has always prided himself on maintaining his integrity, said no.
I can't win over there because I don't play. I don't participate. Like, you can't buy me, not because I'm not for sale. You can't buy me because I'm not in the store.
He wasn't interested in the wealth, fame, or connections that could come from rubbing shoulders with the likes of Diddy and his inner circle. For Katt, it wasn't worth sacrificing his dignity. I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times just to protect my integrity. And that virgin hole I was telling you about, right? Katt revealed during the podcast, laughing at the absurdity of it all. Because P. Diddy be wanting to party, and you gotta tell him no. His words carried a weight that felt like more than just a punchline. This wasn't Katt just being funny. This was him making a statement, one that echoed louder with each new revelation about Diddy's downfall.
Do you believe Diddy is a dangerous person?
Yes.
For those who followed Katt's career, his willingness to speak out against Diddy is nothing new. He's never been one to shy away from controversial topics, whether it's Hollywood's darker secrets or the murky waters of the music industry. In fact, Katt has built his reputation on being the guy who says what everyone else is afraid to say. But it's not just about shocking people. It's about pulling back the curtain on an industry that thrives on keeping people in the dark. And Katt, for all his eccentricities, has made it his mission to expose those secrets.
Replete with very, very serious and salacious allegations, including allegations that Combs had cameras throughout his homes.
So why has Katt been so laser focused on Diddy? It's not just about the parties or the behind the scenes whispers. It's about something much bigger. Katt sees Diddy as more than just a music mogul with a penchant for throwing extravagant gatherings. To Katt, Diddy represents everything that's wrong with Hollywood, a world where power is concentrated in the hands of a few, and those few will do anything to keep their secrets buried. Katt's allegations against Diddy have only gotten more intense as time has gone on. He's accused the mogul of being a puppet for even more powerful figures behind the scenes, people who are pulling the strings without ever stepping into the spotlight. According to Katt, Diddy isn't the mastermind. He's just a pawn in a much bigger game. And that game, as Katt has repeatedly pointed out, is filled with manipulation, control, and exploitation.
And in this lawsuit, he claims that essentially P. Diddy was the Epstein of the rap.
In one of his more recent tirades, Katt even hinted that Diddy's fall from grace was inevitable. He predicted that 2024 would be the year when all of these hidden truths would finally come to light. All these big players are catching hell, Katt said, referring to not just Diddy, but other high-profile figures as well. It's up for all of them. It doesn't matter who you are.
You know, I think in federal court and for these charges, they would say it's routine, but in the public realm, this is very significant, just from who we associate Diddy being and everything we've seen him do over the decades. Like you said, this is quite the downfall to go from, I mean, we saw the mansions back in March that were raided by the feds. So to go from living in those mansions to being in a jail cell right now.
The public might have been skeptical of Katt's claims in the past, dismissing them as the ramblings of a comedian with a flair for the dramatic. But now, with Diddy's arrest and the chilling details that have emerged, people are starting to listen. Katt wasn't just making wild accusations. He was warning us all along. He's been speaking out against this twisted system for years. And now it seems like the truth is finally catching up to those who thought they were untouchable.
And Stacey, you say today's indictment reads like a mob indictment. What was most shocking to you of all these allegations?
Yeah, the fact, Jake, that the government in this indictment presented evidence alleging that Sean Combs was running a criminal enterprise.
One of the most explosive claims Katt has made about Diddy involves an allegation that goes beyond the usual gossip and rumor mill. According to Katt, Diddy didn't just try to recruit him into his inner circle. He may have even tried to silence him permanently.
Are you not afraid about being blackballed again? These are some power people.
What do you mean again? These people are not powerful. Satan can't create anything.
There's been a lot of speculation about whether Katt's outspoken nature has made him a target for those in power, and Diddy, in particular, has been linked to some seriously dangerous behavior. While there's no concrete proof that Diddy ever directly threatened Katt, the comedian has hinted that he's faced some real danger for speaking out. And with Diddy's recent legal troubles, it's hard not to wonder if there's more to the story than what we've seen on the surface.
Now, if the government is going to mandate that they are responsible for your well-being, they have to ensure the safety of your well-being.
But Katt hasn't backed down, despite the risks. If anything, he's doubled down on his claims, calling out not just Diddy, but the entire system that allows people like him to thrive. And in doing so, Katt has positioned himself as one of the few people in Hollywood willing to take a stand, no matter the cost. He's made it clear that he's not afraid of the backlash or the consequences. He's only interested in telling the truth. Katt's boldness hasn't come without consequences, though. He's been blacklisted from certain circles, ostracized by people who once considered him a friend, and ridiculed by those who think he's just stirring the pot for attention. But through it all, Katt has remained steadfast in his mission to expose the corruption that runs rampant in Hollywood. And while it's easy to dismiss him as just another comedian with a grudge, the facts seem to be lining up in his favor.
If there's brilliance in that, then I'm appreciative to that, and I'm trying to be a brilliant person, not a brilliant comedian.
For years, Diddy was seen as untouchable, a larger-than-life figure who had the world at his feet. But as more details emerge about his alleged involvement in shady activities, it's becoming clear that his empire was built on a shaky foundation. And Katt, ever the truth-teller, was one of the first to point that out. He's been vocal about the fact that Diddy's power comes not from his talent or business acumen, but from his ability to manipulate those around him. And now, with the walls closing in on Diddy, it seems like Katt's words were more prophetic than anyone could have imagined.
And I remember, I don't know if you know what his voice sounds like, but I felt like I was in the presence of his monster inside.
Of course, Katt's claims go beyond just Diddy. He's painted a picture of an entire industry steeped in corruption, where powerful figures use their influence to control and manipulate those beneath them. And while Diddy might be the most high-profile name in Katt's crosshairs, he's far from the only one. Katt has accused other major players in Hollywood of engaging in similarly shady behavior, including some of the biggest names in comedy and entertainment. One of the most shocking claims Katt has made involves Steve Harvey, another legendary comedian who has been in the spotlight for decades. According to Katt, Harvey isn't just a funny man, he's also Diddy's secret lover. It's an allegation that has left many people scratching their heads, but Katt insists that he has the proof to back it up. He's even claimed that Harvey's rise to fame was helped along by his close ties to Diddy, suggesting that the two have been in cahoots for years.
Is that I'm quite likely to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
While some might find this claim hard to believe, it fits into Katt's larger narrative about the hidden networks of power that operate behind the scenes in Hollywood. According to him, people like Diddy and Harvey aren't just celebrities. They're part of a much bigger machine, one that's designed to keep the rich and powerful in control while the rest of us remain in the dark. It's this kind of fearless truth-telling that has made Katt both a hero and a pariah in Hollywood. On the one hand, he's seen as one of the only people willing to speak out against the injustices he's witnessed. On the other hand, his outspokenness has made him a target, with many people dismissing his claims as the ramblings of a bitter man who's been shut out of the industry. But whether you believe Katt or not, there's no denying that his words have a way of getting under the skin of those he targets.
Now, so what is next? Is he going to be in jail in this facility until the trial begins? Is there a chance he could, get moved earlier than that?
As of this moment, as of this hour, as of today, yes. But of course, as I mentioned earlier, they're going to be appealing this thing next to the Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals to overturn the judge's order here to try and get him actually released.
As Katt continues to shine a light on the darker corners of Hollywood, it's becoming increasingly clear that Diddy's legal troubles are just the tip of the iceberg. This isn't just about one man's downfall. It's about a system that has allowed people like Diddy to thrive for far too long. And as Katt has pointed out time and time again, it's a system that needs to be exposed, no matter how uncomfortable the truth may be. But this isn't just about one man. Diddy's not the first to face these kinds of allegations in Hollywood, and he won't be the last. So let's dig deeper into the bigger picture. The entire industry is plagued by violence and corruption, and Diddy is just a symptom of a much larger problem. To understand just how deep the issue goes, you have to see Diddy's behavior in the context of a much darker culture of power, control, and exploitation that has thrived in the entertainment industry for decades. And at the center of it all, Diddy's name keeps popping up again and again.
Clients describe NBC as hell, as the worst conditions they've been in.
Let's start by zooming out a bit. Diddy's current legal troubles didn't come out of nowhere. There's a long history here, with numerous accusations and rumors trailing behind him for years. We're talking about allegations that go far beyond the parties, the music, and the flashy lifestyle. These are accusations that paint a much more sinister picture of a man who has allegedly abused his power to manipulate and harm those around him. For years, Diddy has faced rumors that link him to controlling and exploitative behavior. One of the most disturbing accusations came to light when his former partner, Cassie Ventura, filed a lawsuit that rocked the industry. Cassie, who had been with Diddy for more than a decade, detailed a horrifying relationship marked by manipulation, coercion, and abuse. She claimed that Diddy exercised an intense level of control over her, dictating not only her career but her personal life, isolating her from friends and family, and forcing her into compromising situations. These weren't just empty accusations. Cassie provided detailed descriptions of Diddy's behavior, leaving little room for doubt.
And a lot of the evidence, alleged evidence, that's been gathered in this case was from those two raids that were conducted on his personal homes in Miami and Los Angeles. And the indictment names the things seized that he allegedly made videos of these performances that have been named freak-offs.
But Cassie's story isn't the only one. Over the years, other women have come forward with similar stories accusing Diddy of using his power to manipulate them. Some have alleged that Diddy forced them into situations they didn't consent to, using his wealth and influence to ensure they stayed silent. It's a disturbing pattern, one that suggests a calculated effort to control those around him, particularly women, by any means necessary. One of the most alarming aspects of these accusations is the recurring theme of control. Time and time again, people who have been close to Diddy describe how he isolated them, made them dependent on him, and then exploited that dependency. This is not the behavior of a man who simply made bad decisions. This is the behavior of someone who carefully orchestrated his relationships to maintain power and dominance over others.
That's, of course. There's layers upon layers. When you get into these conspiracy theories, man, they never end. They never end. There's just layers upon layers upon layers.
And it's not just women who have accused Diddy of crossing the line. In fact, one of the more shocking claims came from a former member of his inner circle, Rodney Lil Rod Jones, who filed a lawsuit accusing Diddy of engaging in illegal activities and manipulation behind the scenes. Jones alleged that Diddy hosted events where people were coerced into participating in inappropriate activities, and even claimed that Diddy used hidden cameras to record compromising footage of celebrities and executives without their consent. According to Jones, these recordings were then used to blackmail or control these individuals, ensuring their silence and loyalty. The accusations paint a chilling picture of a man who stopped at nothing to maintain his influence. It's this kind of systematic exploitation that sets Diddy apart from other celebrities who have been caught up in scandals. This isn't about a moment of poor judgment or a singular incident. This is about years of orchestrated behavior, with Diddy allegedly building an entire empire on the backs of people he manipulated, controlled, and abused. And the more you dig into the accusations, the clearer it becomes that this is a pattern that has repeated itself over and over again.
That this is the end of the Diddy story as we know it.
Take, for example, the 2016 incident involving a former associate of Diddy's who accused him of violent behavior. Surveillance footage emerged showing Diddy physically attacking Cassie in a hotel hallway. While Diddy later apologized for his actions, calling them inexcusable, it's hard to ignore the fact that this incident fits into a broader pattern of aggressive, controlling behavior.
Combs is seen shoving, kicking, and dragging his then-girlfriend down the hallway. And now he's posted an apology on Instagram.
The attack wasn't just an isolated moment of violence. It was part of a larger narrative that has followed Diddy for years, with multiple people accusing him of using violence or intimidation to get what he wants. And let's not forget about the long-standing rumors surrounding Diddy's involvement in other violent incidents within the music industry. One of the most enduring conspiracy theories links Diddy to the demises of Both Shakur and the notorious B.I.G. While no solid evidence has ever been found to directly implicate him, these rumors have persisted for years, fueled by Diddy's reputation for being involved in shady dealings behind the scenes. The fact that people continue to connect him to such major incidents speaks volumes about how deeply mistrusted he is by those in the industry. But here's where things take an even darker turn. As more and more accusations come to light, it's becoming clear that Diddy's behavior isn't just about controlling the people in his orbit. It's about maintaining his position at the top of a corrupt system. Katt Williams has long suggested that Diddy is merely a pawn in a larger game, but what if Diddy has been playing that game willingly all along? What if he has used his influence not just to protect himself, but to help others maintain their own power at the expense of those beneath them? The rumors about Diddy's parties, for instance, have been circulating for years, with numerous people claiming that these events were more than just opportunities for celebrities to let loose. According to some sources, these parties were designed to ensnare people, particularly up-and-coming artists or those looking for a way into the industry, into compromising situations. Once there, these individuals were allegedly pressured or coerced into participating in activities they weren't comfortable with, all while Diddy and others watched. If this is true, it would suggest that Diddy has been using his influence not just to indulge his own desires, but to create an environment where exploitation thrives.
Problems that the defense has brought up originally, but it seems like, just from reading this 14-page indictment, that there is enough physical evidence to perhaps get a conviction in this case. We shall see. These are allegations.
These stories paint a damning picture of a man who has allegedly spent years hiding behind his fame and fortune to get away with behavior that most people would find unforgivable. And the worst part? It's possible that Diddy isn't the only one involved. Katt Williams has repeatedly suggested that Diddy is connected to other powerful figures in Hollywood who have used their own influence to keep the system of control and exploitation running smoothly. It's a system that has allowed people like Diddy to operate with impunity for years, all while the public remained largely unaware of what was really going on behind the scenes.
This has to be a 100% culture shock. I can't imagine living a lifestyle of the incredibly rich and famous and then going into this very dark, impersonal, cold, austere facility.
Think about it. How many times have we heard about high-profile figures being involved in scandals only for the story to disappear after a few months? It's almost as if there's a machine at work, protecting these individuals from facing real consequences for their actions. Diddy's recent arrest may be the first time that someone at his level has truly been caught up in the web of justice, but it's unlikely that he's the only one who should be worried. This brings us back to Katt Williams. While many have dismissed him as a comedian who loves to stir the pot, it's becoming harder to ignore the fact that Katt has been calling out this type of behavior for years. He's consistently warned that Hollywood is full of people who use their power to manipulate and control others, and now, with Diddy's downfall seemingly imminent, it looks like Katt was right all along.
In 20 years, I never been on a commercial audition in my life. Like, I never let my tour get sponsored when I was broke or now. Like,
what makes Katt's claims even more compelling is the fact that he's never wavered in his stance, even in the face of backlash from those within the industry. As more details about Diddy's behavior come to light, it's becoming clear that Hollywood has a much bigger problem than just one man. Diddy's alleged actions are part of a broader culture that has thrived for decades, a culture where the powerful exploit the powerless without fear of reprisal. And while Diddy may be the one facing the heat right now, it's possible that his fall will trigger a much larger reckoning across the industry.
Took Sean Diddy Combs into custody. He's seen in this video entering the Park Hyatt Hotel in Midtown Manhattan with others when agents from Homeland Security Investigations approach and separate him. They place Combs under arrest and lead him out the front door in handcuffs.
Some have even compared Diddy's situation to the downfall of other once powerful figures in Hollywood, like Harvey Weinstein. Just as Weinstein's arrest and conviction sent shockwaves through the industry, exposing a network of abuse that had been going on for years, Diddy's arrest could be the beginning of a similar unraveling. If the accusations against Diddy are proven true, it would suggest that the culture of exploitation in Hollywood runs much deeper than anyone realized.
Why doesn't the government want him to turn himself in? Because then they can't ask for detention. So they go and they arrest him. They arrest a guy who came to New York to turn himself in.
And this is where things get even more interesting. If Diddy is just the beginning, who else could be implicated? Katt Williams has hinted that there are other major figures in the industry who have been operating behind the scenes, using their power to manipulate and control others. He's repeatedly suggested that Diddy's connections extend to some of the most powerful people in entertainment, and that his downfall could bring others down with him. If that's the case, Hollywood could be on the verge of a scandal, unlike anything we've seen before. Of course, only time will tell how the story unfolds. But one thing is clear, Diddy's recent troubles are not just about one man's mistakes. They're about a much larger problem in Hollywood, a problem that has allowed people like Diddy to operate unchecked for far too long. And as the truth comes to light, it's becoming harder and harder for those in power to keep their secrets hidden. So, what does the future hold for Diddy and for Hollywood as a whole? Will Diddy be held accountable for his actions, or will the system that has protected him for so long manage to save him once again? And more importantly, who else could be caught up in the fallout? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think there's more to this story that we don't know yet? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time